Okay guys, so this is actually a video that has been requested a couple times on my channel. We're going to be going over my settings so that way you guys can give it a try and see if you guys like the settings I run. I'll be making a video in the future about how you can customize your own settings more in depth and how you can understand those better. So stay tuned for that, but for now, let's jump into my settings right now. Okay, we're gonna get into the meat of this. I know this is what all of you guys want to see is my advanced look control settings. I do not use the normal sensitivity. I do use ALC settings. So if you want to turn those on, you just go into ALC settings, you click on, and it will look maybe a little different. These are the values that I have put in. My dead zone is 2%, my outer threshold 2%, response curve is 9. My yaw speed is 290, my pitch speed is 240. Very importantly, if you don't know what yaw speed and pitch speed are, think of yaw speed as your right to left movement speed. So if you crank that up to a higher value, it's gonna move a lot quicker. You can think of your pitch speed as your up and down movement. This is how quick your screen will move based on how you move your joystick up and down. And then I have all of these values turned to 0. And like I said, in the video I make in the future that's more in depth, I'll explain as to why this is. For now, I'm just gonna give you my settings and you can toy around with them. Going into my ADS settings, so this is aiming down sights, my yaw speed is 180, my pitch speed is 140. And once again, I have all these extra values turned to 0. Target compensation I have on, melee target compensation I have on, and my target compensation style I actually have turned to PC values. So I do play on PS4, but sometimes I do play with my PC buddies, and when you play on PC lobbies, this is automatically switched to PC. So in that case, I just play on PC values. It makes it a little harder, but in the end, it does just make you a better player. Lastly, I have my per optic settings. I have my 1 times at 0.8, my 2 times at 1.2, 3 times at 1.2, and then all of my 4 times to 10 times at just the regular 1.0 value. These are my general controller settings right here. If you want to take a look, I have my crouch button to hold, my aim button to hold, and my menu cursor speed is almost halfway, not quite. Lastly, my button layout. I use the customized layout because I am running a SCUF controller, as you guys can see on my screen over here. So my SCUF controller does have 2 paddles on the back that I have inputted into the game as well. So what that allows me to do is crouch and slide from my paddles back here. I also do play claw, which is this right here. That way I can, when I have my guns out, I can aim, shoot, and then also switch guns and reload by using my index finger right here. So if I shoot, I can reload and then switch guns. So that way I generally never have to move my fingers other than this index finger, and sometimes my index fingers to use abilities. The last thing to mention is I do play with lifted thumbsticks. So as you can see, my right thumbstick is a tad higher than my left. My right thumbstick is aiming. The reason this one's lifted is because you can make bigger movements with your thumbstick and it will do a smaller movement on your screen versus a small thumbstick doing the same movements, if that makes sense. It basically gives you a bigger angle to work with, a bigger radius to work with on your aim. Lastly, my field of view is 106. This adjusts how zoomed in the screen is to your surroundings. Those are the general controls I use. If you want to give it a try, you can. Like I said, I'll be making a more in-depth guide to your settings so that way you can adjust the settings that match your preferences. I'll also explain why the settings that I'm using I've chosen and give a more in-depth analysis as to why that is. So these settings to me just provide the smoothest aim for what I'm comfortable with for my hip fire as well as my ADS firing. I also feel very smooth with my movement and I'm able to turn at an efficient rate and it's at a level that I can control. Anyways, here's a quick montage of my settings.